Jason woke up to find himself in a strange and surreal place, unsure of where he was, how he got there, or how he will even get out of here. But while he was trying to gather his thoughts, a bright light called out to him, revealing itself as the angel Arlen, declaring that it came to him in peace in the name of Yeshua. Jason, dumbfounded, asks, "What would an angel want with me?" To which Arlen explains, "A mortal bond has been sustained between us. The abilities you recently discovered yourself to wield derive from our combined spiritual energies and are unique in the manner with which your psyche manifests our union." Such an explanation was a lot for Jason to process, especially with the fact that an angel just stated that it was the source of his newfound power, going on to ask why it was there. Arlen explains that 10 years ago an attack was made by the forces of Satan, but Arlen and the angels repelled it. While the dark entities retreated, he noticed the demon Cerberus speeding towards Earth in the form of a meteor. So Arlen did the same in an attempt to intercept him, battling Cerberus as they fell to the earth. Cerberus, knowing he was going to be defeated, decided to attach himself and possess Samuel as he was attracted to negative emotions, with Arlen latching onto Jason as he needed to regenerate, also letting him know that it's easiest for them to communicate through a dream, which all of this has been a dream for Jason. When Jason got up, it was a lot for him to process as the information from Arlen basically made him rethink the past decade of his life, as well as extending a thought about Sam, who is all the way in Baltimore being tormented by Cerberus, calling him pathetic for losing against Jason, urging him to give himself fully over to Cerberus so that he can take care of both Arlen and Jason, going as far to choke Sam until he submits to his plan of going after Jason, all while terrifying the crap out of a homeless man in the process. Later on, during Jason's lunch break, he got a surprise distress call from Jaina, who has been kidnapped by Sam and Cerberus, demanding that Jason hand over Arlen if he wants Jaina to be free. At first, Jason was puzzled on how Sam was so connected to Cerberus, believing he'd expelled him at the junkyard battle. But knowing very well what Sam is capable of under the influence of Cerberus, he rushes off to the location in order to save her, getting there while Jaina and Sam are arguing with each other, with Bible verses being quoted and Sam smacking her across the face. Jason decided to not show up with his entire costume on and tries to reason with Sam to let Jaina go. But Sam, of course possessed by Cerberus, is reluctant and attacks Jason on the spot, leading to him manifesting his powers to defend himself. The two go into an extensive brawl, with Sam quite literally fighting dirty and getting the upper hand on Jason, to the point he pinned Jason down under the river to drown him. But Jason, pulling from his martial arts skills, knocks out Sam just in time to rush over to free Jaina, who is going through a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions, instructing her to run to safety. But Sam gets back up and attacks her, leading to Jason becoming furious and declaring that he has had enough, attacking Sam and telling him there's a demon controlling him, and under its influence, he murdered Debbie and tried to kill him and Jaina too. I realize I was saying Jaina when I think it's Jenya. Yeah, I think it's Jenya. Anyway, Arlen and Jason declare, "This ends now. By God's authority and power, I speak and cast you out in Yeshua's name. Be gone." That severed Cerberus' connection from Sam, who became furious, stating that Jason took everything away from him before and now he wants to take away his powers. So instead of taking the chance to be free, he instead embraced Cerberus again, with the two vanishing out of there, leaving Jason confused as to why the exorcism on Sam did not work. He then rushes over and embraces Jaina, who is pretty much shaken up at all that just happened, explaining to her a little on what took place. But she states that he seems to be possessed by the same monster that was in Sam. And Jason tried to explain further, stating that there is a difference between what Sam was going through as he was being possessed by Cerberus, a demon, while Jason is being aided by an angel and is in full control of his power. But for Jaina, it's all too much, running off and telling Jason to just leave her alone. Jason watched over Jaina. I keep saying Jaina. Jason watched over Jaina on her way home to ensure that she was safe, but he himself felt really conflicted after today's events, knowing that he needs further answers to the many questions that he has. And when he gets home, he notices that his window was wide open. Knowing that he didn't leave it open, His first thought was to believe that someone else was in the house who can either fly or knows that he can fly. But when he gets inside, he is greeted by two other superpowered folks, with one of them telling him, "Welcome home, BlueJaye. We have much to discuss." So with that, let's put BlueJaye issue 2 on our Christian fiction judgment scale. For the story, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Written by John Delarose, whose YouTube channel I am quite fond of, and Gabriel Dill. Really like the story direction of this issue, especially the lore that has come out of it with some surrounded more around Jason and Sam's powers and how it works and their evident limitations. Jason's character's development and internal monologue were pretty good in this issue. Though I skipped a lot of it in my summary, it was solid and well put together, especially what they did with Sam and Cerberus, who I think is shaping up to be a pretty well executed villain thus far. Then there's Jenya, which I must add that panel with her and Sam arguing, the Sam slapping her to her quoting Luke 6 verse 37 about forgiveness in the King James Version against Sim also was quite well done, especially with all Sam's rambling. Really enjoyed that page in particular, as well as Arlen's dialogue and explaining the whole aspects of the deeper diving into the lore of how their powers work. This issue, I like that aspect a lot. When it comes to artwork and creativity, this issue is a 4 out of 5 on our scale with 5 credited artists all on screen. I like the page of Arlen revealing himself to Jason and the final page of his intruders telling him that they have much to discuss. There are also some pretty cool pinups thrown in at the end of the comic as well, that I quite like a lot. When it comes to theological basis, which refers to how well Christian principles are adapted in a piece of fictional work, it's honestly a 4.5 out of 5 for me. A step up from the 2.75 score of the last issue, particularly because of Arlen's proper introduction, giving us a bit of an explanation into the theological workings of this universe. I like the usage of expelling the demons out of Sam in the name of Yeshua, with Sam willingly choosing not to accept salvation and instead give himself back over to the entities, which is kind of my favorite villain archetypes within the gospel-infused theme space, like Yoke from The Remnant for example. The 0.5 reservation of the score is basically I want to know a little bit more on Arlen and Jason's supposed mortal bond, as there is still some room to get some Galatians 1:8 curveball wonkiness opportunities in there, which can get really strange if not explained well. But so far I'm quite enjoying it, and most likely the next issue in the series will get a 5 out of 5 in this aspect, once that is cleared up for me. I know both the credited authors are professing Christians, and I do like John Delarose's channel, but I rather go off of what was presented in the book than what I may know of the author themselves. Lastly, for the final category of my recommendation, it's a 4 out of 5. Really enjoyed this one a lot more as opposed to issue 1, and it gets me stoked more for the Aspyre Comics line. Overall, BlueJaye issue 2 gets a 4.125, yes we don't round up over here, out of 5 score from the Xplanations. If you enjoyed the video, then consider leaving a like on it and subscribing for more reviews and coverage of comics made by professing believers. If you enjoyed the video to the point you want to check out another one on the channel, then be sure to click the card at the top right corner of your screen, or check out our other Aspyre comic reviews if you haven't. Or you can check out this video YouTube is recommending you now that should lead you down a gospel-infused rabbit hole.